So welcome to part 3 of the cost of racing. And today we're going to go over what I feel are two of the most important parts of racing: the spectators and the sponsors. As humans, we like to be entertained, and racetracks provide us with a good economical means of entertainment. Let's take an average family of 4, night out on the town. Let's say a Friday night. Come home from work, get the kids ready, take them out to eat, go to movies. Maybe you get out of the movie early enough, you go for ice cream, and you go home. So let's say 3 to 5 hours worth of entertainment. Okay, dinner's going to cost you between $50 and $100. Movie's going to cost you anywhere from $40 for the 2 adults, and then depending on how many kids you got, another $30 to $50. Then food at the theater, popcorn, drinks, gummy bears, gobstoppers, whatever they got. And then ice cream afterwards is going to cost you another $20, $30. So by the end of the night, you've spent a good $200-$300 on a night out for a family of 4. Well, let's say somewhere between $150 and $300. Be fair there, go from low end to high end like I've been doing on all of these. Now, let's look at a night at the racetrack. Go down there, family of 4. 2 adults, cost you $20 to get in at most any racetrack around the country, rather it's drag racing, roundy round, truck pull, monster truck, whatever. Local stuff now. Kids 12 and under typically get in for free. You can bring food with you, or you can eat out at a concession stand. You're still looking at somewhere around $30-$40 for supper. So right now you're sitting at about $80. You're into track. And if you go on a Friday night, you're looking at, say, 3 to 5 hours. So that's why I say on a Friday night it's pretty even time-wise. But if you transfer that over to a Saturday and the gates open at 1, you come on out and let the kids play around and all before the racing gets started. You know, most tracks got plenty of room where kids can run around and be kids and not cause a problem. You can keep your eye on them. And you start at 1 o'clock, and it, depending on the program and what they got on the schedule for that day, you might go till 9, 10 o'clock at night for that same less than $100 you spent to get in the track. And you've had a great time. You've been outside, fresh air. Get it whichever way the wind's blowing. You can get fresh air side. You can get the tire smoke and fuel side, whichever you want to do. A little easier to do it at a drag race because they're more open and you can kind of wander around. Truck pulls are the same way. You kind of wander around a little bit. Just a good family environment at a reasonable price. Keeps everybody busy and entertained for most of the day, if not all day. So, what does the spectator expect? Well, they expect us as racers and track owners and promoters to put on a good show. So we're going to want to make sure things are going down the track. We're going to want to make sure if something does happen, there's a quick cleanup. We want to make sure everybody's in a nice, safe, fun environment. And everybody will have a good time. That's the good sides of it for the spectator. Now, sometimes you got to drive a little far to get to the track because as things build up and tracks go away, it's farther and farther to get to them. So you got to include a little fuel bill there. But it's still very economical. The next important part is the sponsors. Think of a racetrack as its own little economic entity, which it is. The track owner built this racetrack because he knows that racers want and need a place to race. So they're going to pay to race. But as you learned in part 1, the money that they pay pretty much goes to paying their purse. So the track owner up here still hasn't made any money yet. So where does his money come from to pay the bills and keep everything going and upgrade the track and make a living? Well, that comes from the spectators and sponsors. The sponsors come because they want the spectator exposure. The spectators come because they want to be entertained. And the racers come because we want a place to race, and that takes care of the rest of this and makes a circle. What should advertisers and sponsors expect? Now, let's touch on something. Yes, the advertising world has changed in the last 10 years, especially, where billboards and signage and banners and all are not the mainstay of your advertising campaigns and your advertising dollars as they used to be. However, they're still a very important part of an overall advertising package, because the guy sitting there in the stand is looking around going, hey, them people sponsor here. Hey, I saw that on that card that ran a while ago. I've been thinking about buying one of those thingamajiggies. I've been thinking about having that service done around my house or my property. I've been thinking about having that upgrade to my computer system. So it still behooves you to be able to get out in front of people via signage, stickers on cars, or as the tracks are learning, they need to branch out into social and electronic advertising and media. At certain levels, you go from just being a sign on the rail, and I shouldn't say it that way because that's a very important investment. It's your hard-earned dollars, and you're taking a shot that we've got it in such a place, or the track owners got it in such a place that it's going to do you some good, and you'll get a return on that investment of some level. It's a little hard to quantify sometimes, but you got your sign, but you also have a presence on the facility's website or the facility's Facebook. It's many-faceted, many-fold, but it's still, keep this in mind as a sponsor or advertiser. Of all the sports and all the sports fans in the world, race fans are loyal. They're going to support their driver. They're going to support their favorite local track. They probably got 2 or 3 t-shirts for that local track, and they wear them regularly. And they tell their friends about that local track and get their friends to go to that local track's Facebook or web page and look around, and here's your advertisement sitting out there. Most local tracks see between 40 and 100,000 spectators a year. Now, of course, a certain percentage of that is people that come every week or every other week or every 3 weeks, whatever their time allows them to do. But you're still getting a lot of exposure for the amount of money you're spending. So it's a win-win, and I'm just putting this out there, give you something to think about as an advertiser or a sponsor when a track approaches you or a venue approaches you about advertising with them, that there is still some validity to it, and it's still quite a bit more effective than you may realize even in today's economy. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. This is the third and final part of the Cost of Racing. If anybody's got any questions, if anybody'd like to make a comment, I'd love to hear from you. Maybe your question or comment will come up with the next video we make, and together we can all help the sport. So remember, everybody's important at a drag strip. The owner, the racer, the car owner, the crew, the helpers, the track crew, spectators, sponsors, advertisers, however you want to put it, the vendors, the food truck. We're all in it together. It's one little miniature universe, if you will. Just happens to be stationed at a drag strip or a pull track or a round track, and it's based around of our mutual love of cars, whether we're spectating, participating, building, selling, whatever. Thanks for watching. Until next time, have a great day.